Welcome back to What's Cooking My Foodies. It's your favorite host, Patricia Kutsia, and today we have in the kitchen yet another one of my colleagues here today to tell us all about her experience at MyZone and how she seems to juggle university life and working full-time. As we know, that can be such a stressful time for anybody who has experienced it before. But before we head over to meet her, we'd just like to thank Kitchen 82 for hosting us on this episode.
Welcome to My.NA Cars, your ultimate destination for everything automotive.
I am your host, Diana Master.
Teamwork makes the dream work, right?
Discover the latest models, innovative technologies, and expert insights from our passionate hosts. Learn essential maintenance tips and get exclusive behind-the-scenes access to the automotive industry. Don't miss My.NA Cars on NTV every Thursday at 2100 hours. Tune in and ignite your passion for automobiles.
Hi there, my foodies, and we are back. And as I promised you, we have another zoner here in the kitchen with us, ready to tell us about her experience at MyZone and how she juggles a busy life. So without any further ado, let's welcome to the kitchen Miss Nankali. Well, what an entrance, I have to say.
I had to pop out of nowhere, you know what I mean?
I think it's a MyZone thing. We have to make an entrance wherever we go.
Exactly, like people have to know that we're here.
They have to. So, Nankali, for our viewers who do not know you, can you please just give us a short description and introduce yourself?
Hi guys, I'm Nankali Kamwanga and I am also a part of the very awesome, amazing 10 out of 10 MyZone team, and I am the social media coordinator as well as a lot of portfolios,
and a lot of other responsibilities.
Yeah, and I'm also in my second year of journalism and media studies, studying my diploma at Triumphant College. And yeah, we're not going to say age because, like, you know, a woman never reveals her age. Yeah, exactly.
So, Nankali, I just have to ask, you're busy studying in the field that you're currently working in as well.
What
and
a
I know
privilege.
Not a lot of us have that privilege. A lot of people end up working someplace else that has nothing related to their studies.
Yeah.
But now that you're actually in the field, has your mind ever, like, dwelled to say, am I studying the right thing? Because I know for me, this journalism is quite overwhelming. But I already have my degree. I can't turn
So you're
around.
like, it's clear, like
It's done.
done.
But for you, have you ever faced that moment where it's like, what mak ik? Like,
Okay, you know there's been times where you're like, guys, what am I doing here? What am I doing here? But I don't think there's ever been a time where I doubted, to a point where I was like, maybe I should just move to a totally different field. Because the thing about media and journalism, it's literally not just journalism as
so
writing.
broad.
Yeah, it's about anything to do with media. You can do PR, advertising, marketing. Like, I really made sure when I chose my field, I said, my girl, you have to choose the right field so you don't have to turn back. So as much as sometimes you get tired and overwhelmed, I think that I made the right choice. And yeah, like you said, I'm very blessed to be in the field that I'm studying. Not a lot of people have that opportunity. So yeah, it's a great time.
that is so cool to hear. Because I have met few people who are like,
No.
3 years in and I want to change my mind. But then it does happen and there's nothing wrong with it.
Absolutely.
It'd rather you change your mind than stick to something and waste your time, energy and money.
Yeah, definitely.
5 years down the line, you regret your choices.
Yeah.
But friends, family and foodies, today I will be teaching Nankali and myself, because it's a TikTok recipe, an easy pizza bread study snack. When you're in the mood for something besides 2-minute noodles in between study breaks, I think this will work.
Okay.
Because on TikTok it seems like 5 minutes done.
TikTok, those TikTok recipes are really for when you're studying or when you want something quick. So it makes sense for us.
Because I typed in easy quick study snack and this was the first thing that popped up and I was like, okay, it seems pretty simple and straightforward, so we're going to give it a try.
Okay.
But Nankali, before we dive in, I will be grating the cheese and you're just going to cut our tomatoes and ham into very small cubes.
Little cubes. Okay,
Little cubes.
cool.
But before we dive into that, can you tell us viewers why journalism? What about the field just seems so attractive to you?
I'm gonna start off with a cliche and very, very cute answer.
Okay.
Because I wanted to be a voice to the voiceless. You know that's our answer.
slogan.
But yeah, no, genuinely, it's always been a passion of mine to be in the media field. Like when I was younger, I used to take pictures and videos of everything. I am the friend that documents our life. It's not even a joke. I have a picture of everything and everybody. Trust.
Oh, I've seen it.
Like
guys. I've
trust,
seen it.
like genuinely. And then when I was younger as well, I used to love writing. I still want to, my 5-year plan or like things that I want to accomplish before I turn 30 is write a children's book. And I've always just loved, politics, hard news. I used to read it started off like this. My Oma would force me to read the newspaper every day. And I was like, why would I do that? Like,
What
my
are you
girl,
doing to
what
me?
am I doing? And then I remember when I was 10, I was like, I actually like reading the paper. I like reading the stories. I don't like watching news, but I like reading news. And then as I grew older, I was like, hey, I actually wouldn't mind doing journalism and media. Yeah, it's really, my second option was law. I'm probably still gonna
Pursue that at some point.
pursue that at some point, because it does complement each other.
Yeah, I do. In my few years of doing journalism, I've done internships before I came to my zone. A lot of people have told me that it's either lawyers that become journalists or journalists that go and study law.
Definitely.
Especially when you're a court reporter and you're into crime reporting. I don't know what about the two just seems to mix well, but it's just those career paths that can intertwine at any point.
No, definitely. But funny story, I actually wanted to do medicine. Yeah, it's not random because in my family there is a long line of medicine. So I was like, maybe I could do pediatrician because I also love kids. And then I was like, but if I'm a journalist, then I can interact with all of the age groups,
Exactly.
And now that we are in my zone, I get to interact with the children, with the youth, which is what I've always wanted to do. So it worked out for the best,
Well, it's always a nice feeling and so inspiring to see when people actually make plans for their future and follow through with it.
No, definitely.
It's fine if your plans change, but what's important is that when it's there, you need to
Tunnel
follow
vision.
it. Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what we're hearing from your journey up until this point, which is really inspirational.
Yeah.
But family, do not go anywhere. Me and Ankali have a lot of chopping up to do. So when we're back, hopefully we can put everything together in the oven. But don't worry, we will explain everything to you because I know there's a lot of students and learners out there who would probably like to use this snack in between study breaks.
Yeah.
But for now, me and Ankali will get busy chopping. We will be right back after this break.
Get ready for an exhilarating journey into the heart of Namibian schools with Generation C. Our show is all about celebrating Gen C, where every learner's voice is heard loud and clear. Picture this. Each school taking part in the My Zone School project gets their very own dynamic 26-minute spotlight show packed with passion, talent, and undeniable spirit of the Namibian youth. But wait, there's more. You can catch all the actions and inspiration on DSTV channel 285 and GoTV channel 25 every Thursday at 5 p.m. We are also on social media platforms at 2 p.m. So set your reminders and gather your friends and family for an unforgettable viewing experience. Dive into My Zone socials for an exclusive behind-the-scenes content, interviews, and more starting at 2 p.m. It's your chance to connect with the incredible individuals shaping the future of Namibia's education landscape. Don't miss out on the energy, the passion, and the unstoppable spirit of Generation C. Tune in, join the conversation, and be part of something truly special.
And we are back. So me and Ankali grated the cheese. We cut it. Yo, guys, I'm tired. We chopped our
Ham.
ham and tomatoes into cubes. So right now I'm going to chop up our fresh parsley and Ankali is going to chop up our bread. So we're just
Rolls.
gonna roll spray the same tomato,
Yeah.
potato. Yeah, great stuff.
Okay.
So Nankali, I asked you earlier why you decided to jump into journalism. You told us all about your reasoning, but now I want to hear what made you, sign up or enroll into the MyZone internship program.
Okay, so funny story. It's actually such a funny and random story.
Okay.
So the internship, I followed MyZone ever since I knew about it, which was like back in 2017.
Okay.
Yeah, and then my cousin done the internship, so I used to see, or not internship, she done like a well or something.
Okay.
And then I saw it and she was like, yeah, I feel like this will suit you because you're so bubbly. Well, I don't know about that. Because you're so bubbly and you're interested in the media space. And I was like, yeah, I'll wait my turn. And then first year, the advert came out. And I was like, I want to do it, but I'm scared. I was like, am I really going to get the job? Like, what makes me special from all the other people? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I'm going to apply and see what happens. So then time went past. It was around this time, which was exam season, final exam for the year that you are in. And I was initially applying for, or I was in the SRC campaign, that little campaign thing,
Yeah.
Majiga. Yeah. And so then I got in there because, like I said, I low-key like politics. So I was like, you know what, let me see how this goes. Fine. So then we done the whole campaigning for the SRC on campus, and then I didn't get the position.
Which position were you?
SRC of Information and Publicity. Of
Okay,
course.
that makes sense.
Of
That
course,
actually
yeah.
makes
So I didn't get the position, and then I was like, well, I'm not going to do anything for the rest of the year. So I was like, I'm going to apply to the internship and then see how everything goes. And I applied and I prayed about it. And I was like, this is going to be a great opportunity for me to sharpen my journalism skills. So I was really hoping that I would get it. And then, I went in and I got it. And I was like, wow. So I'm going to be busy next year. I was telling myself, my girl, 2024, you're going to be busy.
Because you're a working girl.
I'm
in
going to be a
2024.
corporate girly to not play. So that is the story how I applied for the internship.
Before you actually started, like you got the news, you got the call, like, hey, come and sign your contract, you made the team. What did you expect the MyZone to be like? Like, not what you got, what you expected.
What I expected. At the time, I remember we came for our interviews.
Yeah, I
And then-
remember seeing you sitting there on the couches.
So it was me, you, Michaela, and Philip that came on the exact same day for our
Yeah.
interview. And then when I left, I told Michaela, because she was the only one that I knew at the time. I told her, see you at work in January. And then when we all got it, I was like, hey, hey.
Like you just predicted the future.
Yeah, I was like, slay. But I expected it to be very fun. Very much like, when you see in the movies, interns just sit there and chill. So I expected it to be much chilled than what it
Yeah.
was. But then the year itself ended up being so hectic. We did so many stuff, sports, we done the matric farewells, it's election year. So excuse us for deciding to be corporate girls in such a busy year.
Yeah, when I graduated, I told my mom that I came to the realization that I am walking into the working force the year of elections.
Yeah, literally. And then, we experienced the tragedy of when the late president passed away. May soul rest in peace. And we got to be a part of the media team that was capturing all of those beautiful moments where the country was honoring him. That was, I think, one of my highlights just in terms of, being a part of such a time where people can remember. It's a sad time, but it's always, it's a very beautiful time to see, all of these pictures, who he was. And we were standing in the streets waiting for the procession and taking all of these pictures, running up and down. It's just you with your camera bag, Michael. So that was also an experience, one for the books, definitely. So yeah.
Great. Besides the running around at the president's memorial and the funeral and just, capturing those beautiful moments, what other memories do you have within MyZone that just, if you had to tell anyone what your time was like, you would use this as a perfect example
As a
that
perfect
just
example.
illustrates
Okay.
MyZone for you?
you know, when we started, I was like, I'm probably going to do a bit of media here and there. I'm probably going to write, which, you know, what you expect when you hear journalism.
Yeah.
But the camera work, guys. I mean, I have experience with working with video cameras and any type of cameras, but it was such a cool time, you know, to learn how to do live broadcasts. And every time, so after that, we would watch television because it was also the Olympics. And I would watch the Olympics with my parents. I would be like, that's a great shot. And that's literally me telling myself like that at work. So I learned all of these camera skills, which is so amazing. But it's also kind of annoying when you watch TV. Then you're like,
Yeah, my mom
your
was
light
like,
and your what is off, my
we
girl.
were watching a movie and then I made a comment saying like, that shot would have been better like this. My mom is like, who made you the expert? I
I'm
looked
like,
at her, I'm
babe,
like,
I know
my
these
zone.
things. Exactly. And then another memory that I won't forget is definitely, like I said, the late president's funeral. That was also a time because that was like my first time to get like accredited properly by the ministry and stuff like that. There were so many other times where, you know, as interns, you'd learn new things. And now that I'm looking back at it, I'm like, how didn't I know how to do that?
Yeah, like at that time you were like, how am I ever? Guys, so Nankali is
How am
the
I?
co-editor for a Focus magazine called Junior Focus.
Yeah.
And she did it with another colleague. And
Yeah.
I'm sure just like Nankali, when I heard I was supposed to do Career Focus in the beginning of the year,
You
my
were
head was
like,
like, how am I going to
Write
get
a
whole
magazine.
magazine together?
What is happening?
Like,
Yeah, that
how
was also,
does that happen?
That was just one of the greatest moments, you know, being a part of having my own magazine. Like as an editor, I'll always remember that it was such a great time because Junior Focus is for the kiddies compared to Careers Focus. So yeah, it was such a great time because ours was themed around culture and tradition in Namibia. So it was such a great time going to the different primary schools, seeing all of the kiddies. It takes me back to my other favorite part or a memory that I remember is going to all of these school events. I've never interacted with so many high schoolers in my life. And I was in high school for how many years? Like 5.
Yeah.
Never ever. You guys. And then they call you ma'am. And then you're like,
Yeah, that hit me in the face.
I was like, yo, I'm really grown. Like, it's really, I'm done. So,
This is the moment.
This is the moment. And also the TV presenting. I mean, at some point, you just become a natural, like you.
Yeah, it just falls.
Whenever we watch Patty on the screen, we're like, oh, she's such a natural compared to the first time you done it. You're probably like, how am I ever going to remember all of these lines?
Well, luckily, like, I did it with my Will internship at NAST. We did a little bit of reading off of a teleprompter the news, so that's when they kind of gave me pointers on how to present.
How to sort it out, yeah.
But it's really at my zone where I was taught like to present on the spot. There was no script to follow. Like you have a guideline, but you kind of need to fill in the blanks and like know what to say, when to say
when
what.
to say it, yeah.
It was a
So-
scary thing to do at the beginning.
Yeah.
I'm sure you know that.
But now it's like we're naturals.
Yeah, it just kind of flows. Someone's like, we need a presenter. Fine, I'll do it.
I mean, I guess.
I guess I'll do it.
Yeah.
But guys, we're having so much fun talking. We really need to get this together because I don't know about Nankali. I am getting a little bit hungry.
I'm literally craving this, like, as we speak.
So we're going to be right back. And hopefully when we come back, we can sit down and eat. But while we're on the break, we're going to get everything ready. We're going to mix everything we chopped with the fresh parsley and just 2 spoons of our extra creamy thick mayo.
The best.
Put that on our chopped or sliced chickens. Pop it in the oven. And then we'll see you guys when we get to taste our delicious study snack. So we'll be right back after this. And we finally came to the last segment for today where we get to taste our study snacks. What do we call them?
Pizza bread.
Pizza breads. I was about to say oven bread. I don't know why.
But we
yeah.
didn't bake them, so.
But they came out of the
An
oven.
oven.
So
it's fine.
in a sense, it makes
Yeah.
sense. So while we were on the break, me and Nankali mixed everything together with about 2 to 3 spoons of our creamy, what's it called?
Mayonnaise.
I want to say creamy spinach from last week. Sorry.
She's still thinking about
I'm
Mickey.
still thinking about the creamy spinach. I'm sorry. So we put that all together. We put it on our sliced Brechen's, and we popped it into the oven until it was nice and crispy and the cheese melted all in. So Nankali, why don't you do the honors of choosing your slice first?
Ooh,
It
okay.
looks really nice.
I'm gonna come back to what's cooking because these privileges are crazy. Okay, I want this one. Oops, yes.
Very nice. Maybe you can use your fork
Okay.
just to assist you there.
Just to help me out.
Just to, yeah.
There we go.
I think you can take two.
Okay, let me take
think it's
another
fair.
one. A little tiny little baby. Here we go.
Guys, this is really a very easy thing to make. It took us such
Yeah.
quick and easy.
It was so easy, you know, whenever you're tired or you need a quick little break. I think this is a great snack.
It is.
Yeah,
And
it has
it's
some protein in
stuff
there.
that's most likely already in your kitchen.
Yeah.
And I think it's one of those recipes where you don't necessarily have to use exactly what we've been
Yeah.
using. You can be creative.
You can
with
mix
it.
it up, you know, if you're not really a cheese person, you can use stuff like, you know, the tomato paste.
Yeah, it's
That
true,
can
you
also be good, yeah,
You can
so-
use bacon on it probably if
Yeah,
you want
mince.
to, if you like it. Exactly.
Yeah.
Leftover mince from last night. Don't know what to do with it.
That's a great
Do
thing.
it there.
Yeah.
But Nankali, before we dive
Dive
into
in,
this, the real question that I want to ask you is, we heard about your study life a little bit. We heard about your life here on My Zone. In a way, they both intertwine.
Yeah.
It's safe to say that you now have to study part-time because of your full-time work. How do you balance everything, especially now that we are in the season of exams and tests, you know, rounding off the year to see, like, are you going to make it to the next
Yeah.
level? How have you been able to cope with everything, you know, just manage work and study life, and on top of that, your personal life
Yeah.
as well?
Yeah, it can be quite a lot sometimes. You know, when I started, I was like, how will I manage, you know, uni and work at the same time? But I'm very grateful that, you know, like we mentioned before, that I'm studying something that I'm busy doing every day.
Yeah.
So my modules have been easier. Yeah,
Really?
it has been. I understand the modules much better because it's stuff that I do at work. You know, things are flowing much better. And I think that having a schedule, I wasn't really a schedule type of girl. I was very much just go with the flow.
So it takes you.
Yeah, see where it takes me, you know, don't plan too much ahead. But if you schedule your time to say that, you know, from 8 to 5 I'm going to be at work. After that, take time for, you know, exercise. Exercise is very important. Even if it's just a little yoga, a little stretch, it really helps you with your mental health. And I think if you have a clear mind, everything else will flow.
Yeah.
So I prioritize my time as work, a little break in terms of moving, being active, and then whenever I have schoolwork, I study. I try to read or check my modules, my assignments every day to just, you know, catch up, since I'm not going to class
as much as you
physically. It's important that I have to, you know what they're doing at least. And during the weekends, on some Sundays, I have my best friend from uni come to my house and come teach me like stuff that she does,
Okay.
that they do in class, just to keep up with everything. Because as much as you feel like you know stuff because you're doing it at work,
Yeah.
you know, that can be a trap.
The
That can be,
theoretics behind it all is also
so,
something.
yeah.
So basically, in a nutshell, you're trying to be proactive when it
Yes.
comes to your schoolwork,
Definitely,
especially.
definitely.
Yeah. Also, for our young adults out there, our kids coming straight out of high school who probably want to study part-time, do a job, do you have any words of wisdom, advice for them, just so that they can navigate this next chapter in their life just a little better?
Yeah, I think that the best piece of advice that I can give anyone that's doing part-time with a full-time job is genuinely never give up. Never, you know, make the one lower than the other in terms of, you can't be like, oh, I have to put 100% in my work and then give 30% to my schoolwork because you already have a job. So you feel like you're secured.
Yeah.
Really give both of them 100% effort because you need both of them. Always have tunnel vision. Always remember the end goal. Even though it's difficult, I know that staying up. Luckily, this semester I only have one module. So I know the staying up and studying, feel like you don't know anything. But really push and remember your dreams. You know, remember why you started. Remember how you want to finish. You know, you
Yeah.
want to finish with that. You want to.
So, also
So
want that cap and gown moment.
you know, so really, and just prioritize your time wisely. Make sure you have a schedule, exercise and take time for yourself always.
Very
Take time apart from work and school and have that in between for Nankali, for Sarah, for Patricia, you know.
Exactly. So before we dive into what we made, one last question. How would you say you have changed over the course of the year? The Nankali that started at MyZone to the Nankali that's about to end of the year at MyZone.
Definitely, when when I look at the Nankali that started the year, I just want to give her a hug and tell her that like we are that girl. Because you know, at some point in your life, you know, as I started, it was a very negative time in the year. You know, not being an SRC. I'm also not so social, so I was like, how am I gonna have this job as a non-social person? But yeah, I'm very proud of how of the person that I've become. I'm very happy about all of the lessons that I've learned. You know, whenever times get tough and you feel like, why am I in this position? You remember that I'm gonna learn an amazing lesson that I can carry with me. So yeah, I'm very happy. You know, she's the girl she thinks she is.
Yeah, that's awesome to hear. I know MyZone has changed me also a lot, and I'm very thankful for this journey. I mean, I don't think me and you would have known each other without
Exactly.
MyZone. And guys, a little
Funny story.
Funny story. Me and Ankali actually live next to each
Like
other.
we're neighbors.
So, like right next to me.
And we
like,
didn't
my
even
house,
know.
her house, and we found out on the job.
Yeah.
Like Mickey from last week was the one to tell
It's
us.
like, you guys are neighbors.
"You're neighbors." I'm like, wait, what?
So yeah, and obviously we've met some wonderful people. Yeah,
Of course,
so.
yeah, so this is really a great experience. But let us dive into these little,
Oh.
I don't keep on forgetting to say,
These little
breads.
pizza breadikis.
Pizza breads. Okay,
Yes.
they are cooled down a little,
Okay.
so it's easier to just eat with the hand now.
Okay.
Moment of truth, Nankali.
Moment of truth.
Is
Are you
this
ready?
a real
It's a snack.
pizza snack between study breaks?
Okay.
There we go. It's nice and crispy, guys. But this is definitely something that gets messy.
Yeah, the cheese is melting, but it's wow.
So my viewers know me by now. When it comes to food, especially messy food, I always eat afterwards.
You know,
When the
just-
camera is shut
Ooh.
down.
Yeah, of course.
So before you guys see me get down and dirty with these pizza breads, me and Ankali, we had so much fun
Definitely.
making our study snack. But for now, we're going to say bye.
I'm gonna miss the What's Cooking family.
Well, the year's not over yet. We still have a few more episodes before we hit Christmas and
Yeah.
New Year's and start all over again in 2025. But from now, for me and Ankali, it is goodbye for now. We're going to eat the rest of this.
We're gonna munch it up.
I cannot promise that we'll have leftovers
Yeah.
for the team back at the office,
Sorry, guys.
but we will eat this now off camera. But it was so much fun having you here, Nankali.
Thank you.
To hear how you've experienced MyZone. It's always
Yeah.
nice to have a different perspective of
Definitely.
the same field. 'Cause we're both in the same office, but we see things differently.
Definitely, yeah.
So guys, thank you so much for joining us today. But me and Ankali have a lot of eating to do. Right now. So it's goodbye for now. Well, that brings us to the end of yet another fun-filled episode of What's Cooking. Me and Ankali really had fun making this study snack for you guys, and I hope you guys do make it because it is really good. And I hope you learned a bit more about what we do at MyZone and just how to balance work and study life for our viewers out there who are the superheroes at doing that. But for now, we just want to say thank you for watching What's Cooking. Stay tuned to our socials. That's, of course, on Facebook, Instagram, and we have TikTok. And if you ever miss an episode, don't worry. We're on OneUp2 and YouTube. But from this host to my viewers, we will see you next time.